Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. Today in front of us is every single LEGO Clone Trooper minifigure ever made. There are 78 in total. I'm going to be going through this collection chronologically from what years these guys came out, what sets they came out in, and how much they are currently worth on the collector's market. So if you've got any Clone Troopers from back in the day, this might be a good reference video to see what some of these guys are currently worth now. And before I jump into this collection review, I would like to say that if you like these display cases that you see in front of you, you can actually buy them at our web store, www.brickvault.toys, made of all American red oak, produced in America, and there are 4 different colors. So anyways, that link is in the description below, and there's a lot to get through today. So let's start off with the very first guy. So this is the first version of the Clone Trooper. He's got the Phase 1 armor with the old mold of the helmet where you can see the black head through the visor piece there. He's got the old bullhorn as the weapon, and you see the sets that he was in flashing by the screen. I'm not going to mention it in this video because I've got to get through so many guys, it would take too long. This is the Phase 2 armor, the second version of the Clone Trooper, 2005 release. You can also see that the head has been set inside with the black visor being the actual head color there. He's a little bit more common, a little bit cheaper. And then from the same year we have the Star Core, basically a commander version of the same Phase 2 Clone Trooper. His yellow highlights and orange pauldron make him unique. He's the only Clone Trooper with an orange pauldron like this. He's 14 bucks. Then we have this interesting aerial trooper. He's basically got a neck bracket with this large build built onto the back of him, though there's nothing actually different about the print or the helmet mold. Makes him considerably more expensive though, 12 bucks compared to the guy without the backpack stuff. Then this guy with the green markings came out in the Wookiee Catamaran. He's a $20 figure. Interestingly enough, there's actually a lot of slight variations with different colors. This guy's from the 91st Recon Corps. He's 9 bucks. And here is our first Clone Trooper pilot. All the pilots are included in this video. By far my favorite helmet detailing that we get so far in the collection in terms of moving chronologically, and he is among the cheapest of the old figs that you can get. Now segueing over to one of our first of our more expensive figures. This is the first Scout Clone Trooper. He's got the jungle armor. He's roughly $25 as listed brand new on the Bricklink market, and that's partially because he's so unique, and he also came out in the turbo tank. 2007 gave us this guy. He's the same one that had the orange pauldron, just he doesn't have it now. And then from the same battle pack we get our first version of a Shock Trooper. Really good printing, I'd say, for the first time seeing him out here. Just a year later, we get an alternate version of the Shock Trooper with a white groin piece, though the printing also feels a little bit different, like the line detailing's a little bit thinner on this later guy. But then also in 2008, we get our first version of the updated Phase 1 armor. This guy came out in a ton of sets. There was a few slight variations, but he's one of the most common Clone Troopers you can get. He's also the first Clone Trooper with an actual flesh head and face print, which is super common. And then the only difference with this guy is you can see he's got some head accessories pushed into the side of the helmet, which is a customizable helmet. And now let's move on to some rare figures. This is the first Captain Rex, probably the most popular clone of them all. He's got some special printing on the helmet. He also comes with a plastic cama as well as some extra shoulder armor. And Rex is one of the few figs to actually get his own special face printing. I mean, these are all clones after all, but Rex has the 5 o'clock shadow. All said and done, brand new, he's $21. And then Commander Cody has a similar design. The markings are a little bit different. You see the orange highlights on him though. He is $15, brand new. And then Commander Fox comes in the dark red. Slightly different design prints and stuff on each of the helmets. Also, the armor is technically a little bit different in terms of where those color highlights go. 25 bucks for this guy as well. And then here is another commander, though he's not actually one of the main characters. This is just another clone trooper with General Commander armor. No extra color highlights for him. Still, the armor makes him 12 bucks, and then we get another pilot. He appeared in several sets. The only differences are you can see the printing on the helmet here, and there's also just a little bit of a breathing apparatus print at the top of the chest. This is kind of an odd one. We've got a Commander Cody helmet on top of a regular body with no extra armor or printing to make it look like Commander Cody. He was given out at a building event. There's no listing for him online in the collector's market. I'm gonna guess he's like 10 bucks because that helmet is actually kind of hard to come by. And now we're looking at a jet trooper. He's exactly like the other figs, but hey, he's got a white jetpack, looking like Boba Fett's jetpack, so he can jump around. It's molded in white though. He's a $7 fig, and then I really like the print for the helmet on the heavy gunner here. The dark gray also differentiates him a little bit more. At the end of the day, he's actually a pretty common fig though. And then we get another clone commander. This time his armor is in black. All the other ones were gray. I kind of like that the black really sort of breaks it up a bit. Still, his prints on his body aren't unique, and he is a $7 fig. This guy's boring, he's just another standard clone, but his antenna is black instead of gray. And then 2010 had this weird kind of throwback. He's got the old Phase 2 helmet, but the printing on the nose, if I zoom in, I can't really zoom in, but the printing on the nose shows some line detailing. It's called the dotted helmet. And yes, that's how detailed this episode gets. Yeah, he is a unique figure because of that. And now we get to take a look at some pilots. These two guys actually came out in the same set. This is supposed to be Captain Jag, possibly. In general, the open helmet here is awesome. I really like the mold for this, and it's just the different color prints on the helmet that makes them unique. This guy is a little bit different though. He flew Emperor Palpatine's shuttle, so the print on the head is supposed to match up a bit with the closed off face mask, though it is the same mold as the open one. And then we get another commander in black like before. This time he doesn't come with a camo. That technically makes him different. And then this guy's a weird one. He came out in a Nintendo DS case. You can see he's got blue eyes. On BrickLink, he's not even listed this way, so this is kind of a weird one for collectors. But then let's move on to maybe one of the most colorful troopers of them all. He's from the Bomb Squad, and I think he's awesome. He's surprisingly accessible in terms of price. And then we move on to another Captain Rex. He's got an antenna on his helmet instead of a visor, which technically makes him different. And this version of him is listed for 25 bucks. Commander Cody with no armor or camo makes him a unique figure from the Geonosian Starfighter set. He's $12, though still exactly the same as the other print. And then the only version of Captain Locke is here, and I think he's got some of the best unique printing actually for a clone trooper. His appearance in a battle pack makes him pretty cheap though. He's $5. And then for the most expensive figure in the collection, we have Commander Wolffe. His sole appearance was in the Republic frigate set. He's got some amazing printing, and he's also just a well sought after character. His expression is pretty dope too. He's a very, very recognizable clone, and the cheapest you can find him is $33, but if you're a collector in the States and want to get him, he's 45 bucks listed in the States, or you want to pay the minimum $10 shipping international fee. So yeah, he's probably well over 40 bucks if you wanted to collect him in the States. And what is Commander Wolffe without the Wolffe pack? He came out from the same set. He's got a jetpack in the back. Excellent printing though. In fact, I might actually like his helmet printing a little bit more. He is a $20 figure. And then let's take a breather for a minute from the really expensive guys. This is a fun one. This ARF trooper has a new mold for a helmet. He came out in a battle pack, pretty accessible. Now here is the much more collectible version of the ARF trooper. He's the Shadow ARF trooper, all black. I think just about everything, or at least his torso print and his helmet print, is exclusive just to this guy. He came out in a promo poly bag, and I just realized now that this guy is actually he's actually the most expensive figure in the collection. If you wanted to get him brand new, he's 80 bucks, and in the original poly bag unopened, he goes for at least 100. So a very, very collectible Star Wars figure. The silver visor is personally my favorite part, and let's move on. This pilot is the same as the last one that you saw earlier, only now he's got a black head instead of a flesh one with a face. And now there is the Elite Clone ARF Trooper. He's part of a battle pack, not too bad in terms of the detailing, but then my absolute favorite detailing comes from this guy. Same battle pack, and he's just got tons of accessories. He's got the first of the cloth camas, which is cool. This is a little pack on his back that's, I think, a communications pack, and to this day he remains the only clone trooper that has printing on his toes. So just about every piece on him is exclusive. A really cool looking fig all around. And then this is the first version of Commander Gree that we get to see. All around a good looking fig, but the later versions of him are much better in my opinion. And then we get an updated version of the clone trooper. The print on the helmet is different. Also the body print has changed as well. But perhaps the biggest difference is his head, his face. So the clone trooper has now been Lego-ified. They use this for the standard print of stormtroopers as well, but it first came out as a clone trooper. This exact figure came out in a ton of different sets, very, very common. But let's get back to some of the old school, the old face prints for some of the clones. This guy's from the 212th. He's got some really nice updated Phase 2 helmet here and matching prints to go along with some wonderful yellow highlights. And then we get an updated version, the most updated version so far of Captain Rex. He too is rocking the Phase 2 armor. Really, really wonderful updated prints. I love all those notches that he's got all over his armor. And the blue cama here is special. The blue shoulder pauldron is special just to him. He is a $25 figure, and then this guy is $20. He's another captain. $20 figure. Really, really good looking helmet print. And then we basically get him again in yellow. My guess is his set wasn't as easy to, or was easier to get, so he's a little bit of a cheaper fig. And the same goes for this guy in light blue. I think that stripe along the front really pops here for the blue. Technically, he is a lieutenant, and then the other guy over here is a sergeant. Kind of annoying that they all have one stripe, and well, actually he's got four, yeah, they've all got 4 dots along the chest. It really is the color, I suppose, the only thing that differentiates them, though you did see commanders with differing colors as well, so it's not super consistent. And then Jek 14 has entered the picture, a Force-imbued clone. I don't believe his story is canon anymore. Interesting face print for sure. I also like his clone armor. He's $22, and we're moving on to probably one of the most interesting looking guys in the collection. This Special Forces clone trooper is all blue. He's got the same mold as a regular stormtrooper helmet, because that's Phase 3 armor, and an interesting energy shield. And then from the same Special Forces unit, this is the commander, so he actually is less blue, but he's supposed to be a higher rank. Interesting looking guy. I wonder if those little triangles at the top are a wink to the original Boba Fett design from Ralph McQuarrie. I suppose we'll never know, but now we're moving on to a guy. This is the 501st. I know a lot of people want a battle pack. He's just not that easy to get. This 2013 version of him is kind of resting here. Great looking print though. He's $12 brand new, and then also from the 501st comes this clone pilot. He flew the Z95 Headhunter, exclusive mold for the helmet, which is pretty cool. Kind of an odd shape for sure, actually. And now we're just moving on to sort of a more generic clone pilot. The print for the helmet is updated, and so is the body actually as well for the chest. And now we've got a version of the clone, a standard clone trooper with leg printing. Some of the more special guys did have it, but not for the regular clone. Now we've got it. His appearance was in the clone turbo tank. He is a $12 figure, and then we get basically the same version. He's from the Advent calendar, and because he's got a Santa hat, it's not an exclusive piece, but because it was released this way, it's an exclusive release. That is a $5 figure. And then also updated Wolffe pack guy. The printing for him is very different now. He's just got gray highlights, and like anything Wolffe pack, he's actually not too easy to get, being a $17 fig. Now moving on, here are a couple of Utapau troopers. The one with the special helmet is the Airborne over here, but interestingly enough, this guy is a little bit more expensive, and the Airborne, I guess, is just not that much sought after, even though he's a lot more exclusive in a lot more ways with his prints, and even comes with a special cama. Also, you'll notice these the stud shooter guns, which is kind of a lower detail in my personal opinion, more playable. And then this is another version of Jek 14. He's got a white helmet now, and also the print for his armor is different. He is $15. And then this Bark Trooper actually has some pretty nice detailing as well. I think the helmet is pretty subtle. He's $6, and then a way better version, like I said, of Clone Commander Gree. He has some wonderful camo printing, Kashyyyk printing all around. He's the only guy, I mean, they released him later, but he's the only guy that's got the silver head here. And he came out in a couple of sets. He's $9. Then here is a Kashyyyk Scout Trooper. Wonderful printing all around. Pretty much anything that comes from Kashyyyk always looks pretty good because their armor is so involved. Just $3, and then a Kashyyyk regular clone trooper, still with some wonderful camouflage detailing. Then LEGO has decided to go back to a shock trooper. He's got a new updated set of prints and updated print for the helmet and everything, leg printing. He appeared in the police gunship set and sells for at least $15, but actually more expensive in the States. Now we've got an updated pilot for the V-Wing. This ship later turned into the TIE Fighter, so they definitely have some detailing that resembles closer to a TIE Fighter pilot. And then here is an updated lieutenant with the light blue. He's actually the same as the last time we saw him, only now he's got printing on the legs. Yay! And then here's an awesome one. This is the Geonosian clone trooper. Really wonderful, totally involved printing and unique coloration for the body, helmet, and armor and all that stuff. And then just like the other battle pack from Utapau, we've got the specialized guy. He's not airborne, even though he's got the same airborne helmet mold. Each of them are pretty cheap. Then we're making the rounds with the new pilot. He's got leg printing, so he is unique, though of course there's nothing too special about him. And then we get an updated version of another pilot with the open helmet. Maybe some of my favorite markings on a single helmet mold from any of the clone troopers. And then here are some of my favorite figs. This is the old Captain Rex from Captain Rex's ATTE Walker. Basic printing, but it's just nice to see this character getting to turn old when you saw him in Rebels. Same thing happens for Wolffe here. He's got a lost eye. That's what really makes him different. And then you also get Commander Gregor. He actually has a pretty cool shirt printing. I like it a lot, and you can see a little bit of white stubble on the face, which isn't a little nicer. I think it's just a better face detailing. But now we're working on to another updated gunner. The chest printing is probably my favorite here. It's just weird and jagged. All in all, pretty fun looking guy. Then this is the latest and greatest updated version of your standard Phase 1 clone trooper. They added more gray detailing to the body and helmet. Very subtle. Technically it's different though. And now here's the second version. Like I said, there is a second version of Clone Commander Gree. And can you spot the difference? His little stripe on his leg is now tan instead of gray. You can look back in the video and see the difference if you want. It's totally worth it. But technically he's different. And then this is the last guy. He's the updated version of the Scout Trooper. The print for his legs are slightly different. It's also not worth looking back to see it, but technically it's there. And now let's look at them all together once again. Alright, that is going to be it for this episode, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. Remember, if you enjoy our content, you can always like or subscribe. If you have any ideas about another collection video you'd like to see us do in the future, whether it's an update video from a previous collection or a brand new collection you haven't seen on the channel, we'd like to know in the comments below. And if we got any other type of updated or new figure for the Clone Wars, the Clone Troopers here, 501st Battle Pack is probably number one on the list. So it'd be fun to see an update for that, and I'm sure we're going to be getting a ton of new Clone Troopers from the next season of the Clone Wars that should be coming out pretty soon. So anyways, thanks so much for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.